up, motherfucking YouTube? This your boy, Crypto motherfucking Roots, the blockchain hustler. You know what I'm saying? The real black Satoshi. You know what I'm saying? We're having a crypto mentorship with the beautiful queen, and I'm just she's still learning about the crypto game, and I'm just going over Ethereum. She asked me about Ethereum, and I'm just going over what Ethereum is, what it currently is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just spit that Ethereum game, and just so she's educated, and my audience is caught up on game too. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna put this to the side. You can't even see that much right now. You can't even see that well. Can you hear me? All right, I'll just do this shit holding the phone. All right, so say yo, what up?
What up?
What up? She said the queen says what's up. So here it is. Ethereum. So basically, the original guy who created Ethereum, his name is Vitalik Buterin, and he's one of the biggest people to know in the crypto game. And I think don't get double check my facts, but when he first found out about Bitcoin, and he was involved in Bitcoin, and then he was 19-year-old like Russian kid, right?
Yeah.
Creates this whole, and then he's like, hit it, hit that shit, smoke that shit, nigga. Um, so so what Bitcoin does, it has transactions on the blockchain, and this guy was like, well, why do we have to just this is what he thought. Why do we have to just put transactions? What if we can just put computer code on the blockchain? And with that thought alone, or with that idea, opened up a whole nother universe. The blockchain is one thing, and the transactions, that was Bitcoin. That's a whole nother universe. So so basically, it's like comparing Bitcoin to Ethereum. It's like comparing apples to onions. That's literally what Vitalik's quote is. Like, it's in the same realm, but not at all the same thing. And Ethereum creates a platform that you're allowed to put smart contracts on. And we'll go into what a smart contract is maybe later during the live stream. Now, here's the thing I want to bring up. I always bring this up to new people who've never heard of Ethereum. Yeah, that's good. You know what I'm saying? I just need some participation. You're right there. She's listening. So, but I still need you to relax and listen. So if we can put this, like, can you take the cord out or something? Like, that's good. Like, just put it in my direction. You feel me? Perfect. All right. That kind of makes me look a little scary on the, like, a boo. No, yeah. That's a little better. Like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right. Let me get back to it. All right. That's good. This is good. This is perfect. All right. So here's what I like to bring up the most. Right now there's Ethereum, and then there's Ethereum Classic. Now they're both they started from, all right, now they're both two different entities, but they started from the same thing. They had a hard fork. That's what you call it, because it's open source code. Remember I told you about open source on GitHub.
Right.
So anyone can post their code on GitHub, anybody can take it, fork it, and do their own shit with it. And that's just how the crypto shit is, for the most part, if it's an open blockchain. But we'll get into that later, what an open blockchain, private blockchains. That's why you gotta holla at CryptoRootz with that crypto mentorship counseling, you know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing is, the reason why blockchain technology is so powerful is because the blockchain is immutable. And what that term means is it can never be changed. It's a computer term, means it can never ever be changed. It's immutable. Can't be changed. Mutable means it can be changed. Just some words for you to know from now on when it comes to crypto. Because it's immutable, it can never be changed, and because it's decentralized, no one's the head of it, and no one can really shut it down.
Right.
That's what makes it so powerful.
Right.
So what happened was, there was this it's called a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, and it's like the highest level, or the newest level of how to run an organization in a decentralized manner worldwide. Is this boring you?
No, I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm just like when I'm.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I'm just
Cool.
like,
Cool.
so
Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. So.
Oh, there's a better security.
All right. Well, you know, if he asks us to move, he's come up, then we'll bounce.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me get back to what I was saying. So, what happened was there was a DAO. It's called the DAO, and it was this big new thing that was coming out through Ethereum, and people invested a lot of money into it, right? A lot, like millions, multi-millions of dollars into this DAO, and it got hacked. Someone found a vulnerability in the smart contracts and hacked it for $160 million.
Yeah.
Right? So that totally like bombed. Because this was supposed to, you know what I'm saying? They were ensuring the world that it would be unhackable. The day it comes out, it gets hacked for $160 million.
Right.
So now you have this big dilemma. You have people who are investors saying, yo, like, you got to do something about this. A lot of people are like, yo, I lost out. Like, people are freaking out. Sorry about that. Run your car so your battery don't die. All right, we moving the car right now. Stay tuned to that crypto game. So she's still listening. So, because obviously a lot of money got lost, a lot of reputation was hurt, a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Shit got fucked up in the game.
Right.
But it's a blockchain. You can't just go and change shit. Right. It's there. That's done. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So what happened was that the founders of Ethereum decided to roll back the blockchain. And the community, most of the community, it was like kind of basically split to some degree, was like, yo, that's the right thing to do. You know? That's the right thing to do. The other half of the community was like, what the fuck? You guys have the power to even do that? Right. I thought this shit was supposed to be decentralized. I thought this shit was supposed to be immutable. Like, how can you just go and reverse the blockchain and basically give the money back? Right? And so people were like, nah, bro, like, this is hella centralization. Like, what if from now on, like, you decide to get drunk, like the leaders, and they just decide to just fucking start rolling back at whatever, you know? Right. That's not fair. Right. So so half of the community was like, nope, the $160 million, whatever, needs to be lost forever for good, because this is the blockchain. That's just what happens. You guys knowing about it, you guys created it. Right. This was your creation. And now you're going against your creation. Right. So they forked. Right. So Ethereum Classic is the original Ethereum. Right. And Ethereum is actually still is like the centralized Ethereum. Basically, Ethereum's not decentralized. They call it semi-centralized, but because there's a foundation, because there's like people that are head of, like, there's major, you know, like a corporation, like a board. That's what makes Ethereum centralized. And you can't necessarily rely on a centralized entity, and a decentralized is just bound. It's just like somewhere, some emotions, some things are gonna get mixed up, and someone's at some point, like they already did, alter transactions, and that ruins the whole credibility. Yeah. Now other people are like, yo, so basically what happened was Ethereum Classic, the one community said, nope, we're sticking to the rules because this is what we created. This is what we're about. This is a moral choice. So they forked the code and created their own basically forked the blockchain. But the thing is, Ethereum Classic does not have the same amount of support or developers. Like, they're like struggling in the ghetto. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like trying to hold on to a little sale or whatever, because most of the money and all the multi-billions of dollars and all the experienced developers, they moved on with the Ethereum. They said, fuck it. Other people are like, you know what? This is what happens in new technology. We have to learn from our mistakes. We gotta figure things out. And this is just the right steps for us to keep going. So people are like, we're sticking with it. Ethereum's like,
Right.
All the money's backed by them, and all the developers are going where the money's at,
Right.
right? But they still have a lot of little. Everyone's got an opinion, and so they're hard to get things to final production now because they're so centralized. That's just how centralization works.
Right.
But decentralized is even harder to get things to final code because no one's agreeing. Everybody's got a different, and no one's, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you make a system no one controls but make everybody upgrade to the system? So you got all types of called fork. They're called hard forks, and Bitcoin is like forked like every single day.
Right.
There's Bitcoin Cash, there's Bitcoin SV, there's Bitcoin Diamond, there's Bitcoin Bread. There's so many fucking versions of Bitcoin. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and there will still be more. There will never not be more versions of Bitcoin. So, as far as investing, and as far as like financials, like in the blockchain, I'm down with Ethereum Classic because that's what my moral is. Like, stick to the fucking like be about it. Like, because code is law. That's what real developers like. Code is law. Whatever is in the code, that's law. And other people are like, yo, you know, you got to work in code every now and then. Like, you know, like you got to switch things up. Things change, you know?
Yeah.
So I support Ethereum because I know I support that route. Like, yeah, you got to figure shit out, man. And, you know, the developers, and like I support them because now that I have certain things involved with the Ethereum's platform, I need them to succeed.
Yeah.
Because the business I'm running depends on their blockchain.
Right.
If you opened up a token on the Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum Classic, I'd support in the long run because they're sticking to their fucking guns and they're actually making progress. And they're actually, the coin actually went up a little bit, you know? So I support both. It's just that more development is happening on Ethereum's blockchain. And at this point in time, a lot of development is happening on Ethereum's Classic blockchain. But Ethereum fucked up somehow, and I'll figure out how later. They could have shut it down so that no one could fork it. But they didn't think that anyone would fork it. And they got forked, and now the second chain is actually like coming up in the game. And they're like, shit, fuck. Like, now they got this like headache to deal with, which was their original idea. So you see how the game's getting kind of like weird, like when it comes to like certain things. It's like, where do you stand? Because this is the first time ever you get to shop around for your own jurisdiction. First time ever. Right. If you don't agree with the community and how it runs and issues and runs its economy and money, you can step away and go to a new one, or you can create your own of that. Right. You know, this is power we have. This is newfound power. Right. So I support Ethereum Classic in the long run because that's what we're going to need to protect ourselves in a world of centralization, is a true decentralized blockchain such as Bitcoin. Okay, you good. But Ethereum is paving the way because Ethereum Classic would have no clue where to go because all the developers are paving the roads. So I think it's dope. I support both. I think so far Ethereum Classic has the most potential to moon, and mooning, you know, mooning means the price goes up like to the moon. Right. So that's in crypto, mooning, because it's only less than $5, and the all-time high was at $40. So, and it was hovering around like $2 back then. So we're already starting to see it's gaining. It's gaining, and just because the whole market's down. But Ethereum was up to $1,000. Yeah. Right now it's 160, 170. Yeah. So as far as trading, markets, morale, developers, code, blockchain, immutability, you know, that's the most prime example of this technology. And are you more in it for the money, or do you have a moralistic standpoint, still trying to profit from the money? Or are you got enough money but you want to make enough code? Like, so it's weird. It's weird. And I'm not saying who to support. I'm not saying, like I said, I support both. Yeah. Because it's healthy. To have competition is healthy for the consumer, because we get the best product in the end. Right. You know, for the lowest, best fair rate in the end. So, any more questions about Ethereum? It's an endless conversation. Just if you have any like questions, you can do Ethereum. You can make decentralized applications.
Yeah.
You can make dApps. These are called apps. We call them dApps because there's no central server that the information is coming from. It's spread around the world, so there's no point of failure. So with the dApps, you're able to transact and profit, no middleman, straight from your wallet. Whether it be there's a new wallet, there's a new browser. You know what I'm saying? You got to log in to even go on to access the dApp. To even have a dApp, you have to have a wallet. To even open up the dApp, the CryptoKitties.
Right.
That's why I asked you about your Ethereum address because I wanted to send you some CryptoKitties.
Oh, okay.
You ever heard about CryptoKitties?
I think you told me about it.
Yeah, they blew up digital kittens that you can breed and sell.
Wow.
Yeah, you can, and you get them and you breed them and you get different genes, and it's so the algorithm is more advanced than YouTube as far as genes and genetics. And people like even me, I got hooked into it. We're looking certain cats with certain eyebrows, certain tails, certain mouths. Like we're looking for these genes because it's a fun, I wouldn't say game because it's actual real money, but it's digital kittens.
Yeah.
And that is able to happen because of smart contracts.
Yeah.
And because it's this thing called NFTs, which stands for non-fungible tokens. And I'm gonna go into, since we're going live stream, this is a crypto mentor session, you know what I'm saying, spitting that game. Do you know what fungibility is?
No. No, I don't know what fungibility is.
Fungibility, when something is fungible, okay?
Fungible. Okay.
You ever heard of that term?
No.
Okay. These are all finance terms, and it's okay because you're learning. Now, when something's fungible, that means it can be exchanged for itself. A dollar can be exchanged for a crumbled dollar. An old dollar can be exchanged for a new dollar, and it's still worth the same amount.
Right.
But to take a dollar and try to get to a Mexican peso, or try to be to like a pound, a British pound, that's not fungible. It can't really be exchanged. There's different rates. It's not going to equal out the same. That's non-fungible.
Right.
You can't just change it for something of itself because it just won't equal itself. So because it can't be changed for something like it, that means it's unique within itself. Because it's unique within itself, you can label an ID, a certain ID number to that contract, and on the whole blockchain, everybody knows that belongs to you. That there's no other thing like that out there. It's like Pokemon cards, but like for real. Like this is actually really rare, and we can verify the rarity. That I'm the only one in the world that has this.
Right.
On the Ethereum network. And outside of it, it doesn't exist. So in order, so non-fungible tokens means that you can have different digital kittens or digital contracts attached to an image. So that's how people are coming up in the game, graphic designers, and they're creating digital images, assigning them to that people would like. That's what CryptoKitties is, and that's what Decentraland is. It's buying and selling virtual real estate. All it is a digital picture tied to a smart contract on the blockchain, and because of the rarity and the uniqueness of its own, creates value for the people.
Right.
Wow, like you're the only one who's on that. The only way I can get a hold of that is buy it from you. Or steal it from you, but it's impossible because you're on the other way of the world, and I can't use this technology to take it from you.
Right.
So non-fungible tokens, which is the ER721 smart contract, is what CryptoKitties is basically. Just images attached to a smart contract that people actually own and verify,
Right.
which creates a whole nother world. That means anyone can just create. There's crypto hats. There's crypto. And people are trying to come up. They're just getting desperate at this point.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is that you can come up with your own unique creative idea, as long as people find some form of value in it. You have a whole nother market to yourself. And this is the perfect time to get into it because no one really knows about this. No one really knows which sites to go on to buy non-fungible tokens. OpenSea, the Mist, and Bazaar. There's different crypto websites to go on to even purchase non-fungible tokens, buy and sell and trade. I mean, the game is funny, and that's going to be part one of our Ethereum mentorship. Yo, homegirl, did you learn something?
I I did. I
She's-
learned a lot.
She said she learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? So holla at